So another day on the fields of Perthshire. I'm joined by Peter on the left and Marty on the right. Peter is using the same machine as me, an XP Goldmax power, and Marty is using my White's DFX. So we've got some Iron Age, Bronze Age and even a few Roman and medieval sites on these fields, so let's go and give them a go and see how we get on. So it's out the hole. I've had a few bits of lead, and it did sound like a coin, and it is a coin. Fantastic. Very sandy soil here. It's a ship's halfpenny. Probably, I don't know, George the VI maybe? Edward, possibly. It's definitely the 6th. Let me clean that up and see what we've got. Yes, I was right. George the VI, halfpenny. And the date is 1938. So I've had a few of these now, unfortunately. Old brass shotgun cartridge caps. And unfortunately these old ones come through just like coins. So hopefully there's not going to be too many more. It's just popped out. I can see it straight away. Thought it was a coin, but it's not a coin. It looks like a copper stud. There we go. A little leather stud. You can see there's still quite a big chunk of leather still attached. So this would have probably been on a horse harness or a horse fitting. Probably sometime between, what, 17 and 1900s. This is a good sound. Sounds like a coin. Or maybe a button. Is that it there? Nope. Nope. We're going to need to dig a bit more, I think. Yep, still in there. Let's dig a little bit more. So, we're out the hole. There it is right there. It is a coin or a button. Looks like a coin to me. So it's pretty worn on this side. However, on this side, it's not bad. We've got G-E-O-R and an S up here. So it's Georgius 11 Rex. So the reign of George the II. So this would date back to the time of Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Jacobite uprisings. George II was on the throne at the time, the House of Hanover, also King of Great Britain and Ireland. So this doesn't have a date on it, but it will probably date to sometime, I don't know, 1730s, 1740s. So a very turbulent time in Scottish history. So I'm barely 2 feet away from the last one, and the signal is in this clod. Can we see anything? What's that there? That looks like metal to me. Oh, dropped it, and it is. What is it? Who knows? It looks like a bit of junk. Well, Peter has got an absolutely fantastic find, which is a little bit green, but it's also silver plated. Ooh. And it is a big coin. He's very delicately cleaning it on his jacket jumper.
Very good.
It looks like Georgius. There's a date here. 1818, 1819.
Maybe, yeah.
So there we go. Give us a wee look. It's got a hole in it. Oh. There we go. I've dropped it. So there we go. It's got a hole drilled in it. It is Georgius the Third. George the Third. 18. Oh, I've dropped it again. It is 18. think it's 1819, Pete.
Okay.
1819, George III. And it's green, but it's also silver. It's been silver plated, and it's obviously been hung on a pendant or a chain, and it should be solid silver because I think this is a half a crown or a crown. So therefore, if it's silver plated, this is a forgery, Pete.
Lovely.
Pete has found a fake coin, a forged coin. But well done. I have never had one of them before. And Pete's also had a button. You can see the little loop there. However, silver plated. It has got... It's got a thistle on it. You can't get much more Scottish than that, can you? That's lovely. That's probably going to date to sometime between, what, 1750s and through to maybe around about the 1900s. So walking back from Peter, and look what I've got sitting on the surface is a clay pipe. So not everything that you find is necessarily metal. It's got decoration on it of some kind. Oh, there we go, look, it's got a 3-leaf clover. It's an old tobacco pipe. Let me give it a little clean up. So there we go, I've given it a little clean up, and it is a little tobacco pipe, and it's got a 3-leaf clover on this side, and on the other side we've got a harp. I'm not going to clean out the bowl because it could have a crack in it, and that's all that's holding it together, possibly. You can see some cracks here, so I'm worried that they'll go all the way through. I got a pipe from this field, if you remember seeing my earlier video from a couple of months ago. It was a foot kicking a football, and I broke it just shortly after I found it because it was cracked. So that's why I'm not taking any chances. Date wise, I'm assuming probably Victorian, but it could be slightly earlier than that, so it's going to be pre-1900, probably sometime between, like, I don't know, 1850, 1900. So a coin for Martin. Unfortunately, it is pretty blank. You can see a head there. It looks like it's looking to the right. On the other side would have been Britannia, but it's pretty crusty. I would guess that it's probably George III, so that would put it sometime between 1780 and 1820. Still, a coin's a coin. There we go, another signal. I thought it was going to be a button. It wasn't the best of signals. However, it's another coin. And it is George VI again. The best I can do, it is a 1944 farthing. So it's got the little bird that's called a wren on the back. I think it's the smallest bird in the British Isles, I think, if I remember rightly. And again, like the other coin that I got, it's George VI, so clearly sometime around the 1940s there was something going on here. So this one's popped out straight away. You can see it just there, and it looks like a thimble. And it is a thimble. So there we go, full of soil. It's a design that hasn't changed in hundreds and hundreds of years. These little dimples, you can see it's a little bit broken around the edges. And why is this out in a field in the middle of nowhere? Well, I'm led to believe that people wore these on their fingers when they were harvesting and stacking up some of the bales of straw in the old days. Someone can let me know if that's a load of rubbish, but they are a reasonably common find. I probably find 10 or 20 thimbles a year out in the fields. Some of them can be silver, some of them can have lettering and engraving and decoration on them, but This is just a plain old thimble. Oh. But still, it's a find. It's going to be what, 100, 200 years old possibly. So a coin for Martin. A great big penny. 1 penny, 1917. You've got Britannia seated. And a little bit older than my George the VI. We've got George the V. So we've got another good signal. Just about there. Let's see what we've got. So we're out the hole. Time to get the carrot out. I think it's going to be a wee button, like, see it there? Oh, it's not a button. It is a button. No, it's not. It's a coin. It's absolutely tiny. Oh no, I've just dropped it. Where did it go? There it is there. It is a coin. I thought that was a button. It's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. I've never seen a coin that size. Right, let me give it a clean up. Right, I am stumped completely with this. I'm going to have to rely on someone telling me what this is. It looks like it says LCHR Lowers Mark Counter, and that looks like Queen Victoria, young Queen Victoria, possibly. On the other side, initially I thought it was a foreign coin, but that's the coat of arms of Great Britain. Top left and bottom right is England, 3 lions. Bottom left is the harp of Ireland, and top right is the lion, rampant lion of Scotland. And then around the edges it says, is it litiation? Litiation of a half sovereign? I've got no idea what this is. It's got a date at the bottom, 1887, so that would put it in the time of Queen Victoria. But what is it? I've never seen a coin, well, if it is a coin that is, but it does say it's a counter, a mark counter. I've got no idea what that is. Another signal. It didn't sound too bad. It's popped out straight away, and there it is there. No idea what that is. Some sort of something. No idea. Farm related, probably. Farm machinery. Looks like an animal tag, probably off of a cow. Come in number 34450. Your time is up. God, that was a struggle. First signal was a tiny little bit of iron, which obviously my metal detector didn't pick up, but the pinpoint probe did. Second signal is a bit more interesting. This is a lead shot. So this is of a small caliber. It's a pistol shot. What we used to call in Scotland in the old days a dag, D-double-A-G is how it was pronounced, or D-A-G is how it was spelled. Don't ask me why it was called a dag. I'm assuming it's probably something to do with Gaelic language, or it could even be something that's come over from Europe. But this would have been fired from a pistol that would be worn on your belt. These came into fashion in the late 16th into the early 17th century, and they're the kind of things that would have been used by a lot of the Jacobites at Culloden. You would charge at your enemy, you would fire your pistol or you would fire your musket, and then you would throw it aside and attack with your sword. So Martin is digging to China at the moment, or Australia, I'm not sure which, and I just put my metal detector in the ground, and you've always got to be eagle-eyed. Look at that, right there. You see that? Sometimes you don't even need a metal detector to find things. Now, is it a coin or is it a button? It's a coin, and Martin's laughing, so he's probably found a big lump of junk. Let's go and see what he's got in a second. It is a coin. It's Victoria. Let's give it a little clean. So there we go. It's a halfpenny. It is 1861, and it's Queen Victoria. It's called a bun head, so she's looking to the left and her hair's in a bun at the back. So this is in her younger days of her reign. So that's brilliant. Didn't even need a metal detector. There you go, another find for Martin. It's a lead seal, 1891. It's in Russian. And this would have been attached to a bale of flax that was brought from Russia. This is like a quality stamp, and also a taxation stamp to show the quality and that the tax would have been paid. And it was attached to a bale of flax that came from Russia in 1891, and it would be converted into, or processed into, linen bed sheets. So Peter, Sneaky Pete, has got himself another bit of silver. That's 3 bits of silver for Pete in a day. And this one is, I think it's a 6p or a 3p, one or the other. It's very green, and it looks like it is George V. So that'll put it sometime around about the 1915, 1920s, early 1920s maybe. So Marty with an eyes only find. That is a big bone. We're hoping it's from a deer and not from a human being. But any ideas? Let us know. Has there been a murder? So I think that's us for today. We got a few coins. Peter certainly had that one sort of silver plated forgery. Martin's had a couple. I think I've had 3, plus the little counter. And that lovely little smoking pipe bowl that I found on the surface. So this may well be the last chance we get to get out on these farm fields, because I think these fields are being planted next week, and the others are all off limits now because they've already been planted. So I need to try and find some grazing land that I can get out on. Failing that, I'm going to have to hit the woodlands and see how we got on. So thanks for watching.